Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. Node.js, backends and app API inside. Today we need to one admin side API we needs here the modify for the open list API because need to show only here the product ID, price, start date, end date and status need to show this years. But we need to admin app inside the show details here the pull details needs here the product informations also showing here. That's why I need to modify this API to need this here. Here two way possibles need to create here the making here the new API, otherwise need to this current API inside need to modifications need to set this here. Now how to create here the new API need to explain here the against need to create here the another duplicates API need to develop here. First of all now need to write down here the app dot post and we need to write down here the API slash admin slash we need to give this here the offer product list and also need to write down here the request response and to like this set here like this setting here. Then after we need to write down here the check here the access tokens. This is the required for the verify here the valid users are the calling this API. That's what need this here. Now need to write down here the request dot headers. We need to pass this here and now need to set here the response and to set this here the user object like this set here. Now we need to set here the another db query and we need to write down here select need to call this here the from and to join this here the offer detail table and also need to give this here the alias od like this set here. Then after need this here the some columns are the needs. First of all now need to copy here this line, so need to needs here and to paste this here and also need to give this here the this alias like this copy here and to set here one by ones paste this here and also need to set here the status dated date modify dates like this need to configure this here and now need to write down here the where conditions same as now need to copy this here the status is equal to 1 then to show this here set here od dot status now need to pass here variables set here 1 and we need to return here errors and results callback. Now need to write down here the if errors and to write down here the helper dot throw errors htmls and to set here the errors and response like sets here and returning this here. Now need to also here the returns here the response. Now need to copy here and to paste this here like this here return this here the this results like this configures. Now need to write down here the inner join, so need to write here query check here. First of all now need to setting here the how to write down here the inner joins. First of all need to join with here the product details tables need to needs here the configures and to configure this data. First of all need to write down here the product related informations. That's why I need to all this here the product details tables need to bind here like this sets here and now need to write down here the as you need to set here insert brackets inner join, give this here the table names and to set here the alias bandwidth plus set the PD, and to write down here the on methods we need to call this here, and to write down here the od dot product id pro id is equal to write down here the PD dot pro id. Like this we need to find with here the inner joins, and also make sure we need to check here the another conditions for the and conditions, because we need to set here the optimize this query. We need to write down here the PD dot status is only active, then to show this here the offers, otherwise not show this offers. Like this, set here the status equal to, need to set here the question mark, and also need to pass this here the value as a active states need to set here. So like this configurations are the needs here. Now we need to need its information, need to pass this here the columns, need to set here the PD dots, need to create here the comma, and now need to copy and to paste this here, like the settings here, and to configure this here. Now we need to set here the column names one by one. So we need to setting here. First of all, we need to set this here the category ID. Then after, we need to set this here the brand ID underscore ID, and then after, we need to set this here the type ID underscore ID, and also need to set here's name. Then after, we need to set this here the details of the products. Then after, we need to set here the actual product price. We need to set here price, like here. And then after, we need to configure this here the another's needed information, the unit name underscore name. Then after, we need to configure this here the unit value, unit val, paste this here another's columns, need to set here like this. Then after, we need to set this here the nutrition weight, and also need to write down here like this, into related to this product details tables. Now another things, we need to set this here the category, brands, and types. We need to connect interconnects, we need to configure this here. But here not matters here the category set or brand set, and type set is not matters. That's why to call this here the left joins, need to configure here. Now need to write down here the left join, need to write down here the category details tables, need to calling this here the category detail here, and need to give this here the alias cd on methods, need to call this here the pd dot get id, get underscore id is equal to, need to write down here the od dot, not od, we need to use this here the cd dot get id, like this configures, need to need this here the configure like this here the ui, and also need to write down here the cd dot get dot status is equal to, need to write down here the equal to question mark, set here the active, set here like this configures, and to get this here the category pending here, same as now set here. Now same as need to set as a brand, to write down here the brand detail. Now need to write down here the bd dot, and to set here the brand id, copy and to paste this here. Now need to write down here the bd dot status, and also need to give this here the same value, put here. Now same as now need to connect here the type details table, and to set here the td. Also now need to copy and paste this here, and to change this here the type detail id, type id check here, also td dot status. Now copy and to paste this here, like this value are the configurations are the needs here. And then after, need to another configurations are the needs here, need to write down here the group by, first of all, need to write down here group by, and need to set this here the od dot offer id like this set sequence. Now need to write down here the inner joins with here the product image. Now need to call this here this inner joins. With this here now need to change this here the image detail tables and to write down here id img imd like this set here the names setting here like this configure this here and need to connect with here the product id need to set here to write down here the imd id status we need to set here the ones now again we need to copy and to paste like this configurations are the needs and to setting this here the done. Now this is are the configurations are the needs and to configures here. Now need to needed columns need to add this here. First of all now need to set here the if conditions if null, then to write down here the cd dot get underscore id, and if get this here the null, then to pass here the blank, otherwise need to set here the 0 is good, need to set here the 0 is like this configuration, so need to set here but not set here the cat id, need to set here the cat name because cat id already set here inside this here this set, that's why need to set here the directly cat name. If not, then to set this here the double quotes, as we need to give this here the cat name like this configure this here. Then same as now need to copy and to paste this here. For the brands we need to write down here the bd dot brand name and to set here also brand name like this. Now again paste this here. Now need to set here the td dot type name like this sets here and to configure this here type name. Same as now we need to configure this here the case conditions for the image. We need to get here the full urls, we need to set it down here the gets case conditions and to set here the when and need to then conditions and after and conditions. Now after the complete this here the and then to write down here the image, and now inside we need to write down here the image logics. Now where we need to check this here the img dot maybe need to check here's img and need to set here the image not equal to double quotes, then we need to write down here the conditions else set here blank. Now we need to write down here the concat functions concat creates here the brackets and inside it to write down here the single quotes double quotes and we need to join with here the base urls base image base url like sets here like, and also to set this here the imd dot image like this. We need to setting are the needs and to configure this here the like this contact, and this api are the ready for here the calling for the websites. Offer is the gone, then to not show, then to make sure here to write down here the one conditions like this need to set od dot need to set here the start date and to set here the less than or equal to now, and end conditions need to write down here now functions, and also need to write down here the body dot end date of the products offers. Set here end date dot date more than, and you need to set this here the now times need to set here. This condition to show only the active or offers product list you need to showing here. If you show only the not started but not ended offers like this show, then to remove this here the these conditions to showing this here the offer created but not started and not ended product offers need to show here. Two case you need to showing this here the offer is not started and offer started but not ended, like this both data are the showing. If you put these conditions here the which started, then to only showing this here the active offers products you need to showing this here. Now need to know this here the also need to need this here the not active products or offers need to showing this here. That's why to set here the end conditions only we need to put this here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment section. So I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.